Hey guys, welcome to your November 2018 General Tarot reading for the sign of Capricorn. It's a little bit of housekeeping. I am sorry these are out a little bit late. I made the mistake of not changing settings on my phone and everything just was huge file sizes, took forever to upload. So we're trying something new. It seems to be working. File sizes are much smaller. They're not going to take days to upload like before, so yay. That should help. In addition to that, I just want to say, if you're new to my channel, which you should be because it's a new channel, I just want to let everybody know that I use decks that are a little bit less traditional tarot. I mean, they do have the major arcana and the minor arcana, but the minor arcana cards are how do we say, like, more like pip cards, like a regular deck of playing cards. Okay? So they don't have the same sort of visual cues and illustrations and stuff like you would find in a traditional tarot deck. Now, this isn't really a problem for most people, but if you're used to looking at the cards alongside the reader, like if you read cards yourself or you just know a little bit about it, and you like to use that to kind of gain some additional information, or if you just think those cards are really, really pretty, you might find these decks to be a little bit difficult for you in many ways. So just be prepared for that. Just expect it. I like it. I learned how to read with a regular deck of playing cards before I learned tarot cards, so I read them a little bit different as a result. So anyway, I have pre-shuffled these weird little cards here that I love them. I love you, deck. Shush. I can feel the animosity sometimes. Might just be my imagination. Oh, hey. I was going to say I'm still shuffling because the cards don't feel quite ready yet, but then they just started jumping. So we're going to call that ready. Yeah, because they're sticking now too. You are sticky and jumping, which I want to say is actually kind of a rare case where you kind of start shuffling in chunks and you still have jumpers. That's kind of weird. Okay, so before I start laying out the cards, I did have one jumper pop out, and it was the Nine of Swords, and that happens to be the card that's now on the bottom of the deck. So you got that twice. Just keep that in mind as we go forward. Put that here. Okay. Sensing a power struggle here. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Does someone have some problem with finances? I don't think you have to be a tarot reader to look at this and be like, hey, I think someone's worrying over finances. Good God. Yeah. All right. This is leaving you in a pretty shitty emotional place. Let me just tell you. It's a lot of needless worrying, though. Good lord. Are some of you starting to quit, trying to quit your job? Like a couple of you are, at least. But not to quit your job just for the sake of quitting your job, but to quit your job in search of something new, like a new opportunity that you're really not sure of, and you kind of start out on the bottom rung of the ladder again. But, hey, there you go. Oh, boy. I mean, it feels like, to me, this is a case of I'm working all the time and yet I feel like I always have no money. I just want to say, for those of you who are here looking for any kind of information or insight into your love life, there is very, very little. Whoever this reading is for is having either no issues with their love life or they just really don't care about whatever issues are going on with their love life right now. Like, that is not their focus. And for that reason, just be prepared for a very work-heavy, money-heavy, what's the word? Material possession-heavy reading. I just want to say before I keep going, I do read the majors a little bit different than most people do. I read minor arcana of things that are around you that you can see, touch, taste, smell, all that kind of stuff. Like, you can sense them, they're there, they're present, you can recognize them. And then I recognize the major arcanas as things that you've, like, say, put out into the universe but have not quite received yet. They're kind of like manifesting around you in ways that you can't touch. So just keep that in mind as as I go forward here. But like I said, there is a lot of worrying, and it really feels like you're of two minds here. You're of a mind of, you're definitely in a mindset of lack. I don't have enough. I want more, or this isn't enough for the effort that I'm putting out, or the amount of money that I'm getting, or the amount of things that I am physically getting is not meeting the amount of emotional output that I have to put out there. Right, so those are the two minds that I'm getting. It's the same, and I want to. There's two kings in this spread, but they are both the same person, and that's what I mean when I say that this is you of two minds. Okay, and I feel like it's just been like a lot of your power feels like it's been drained from you. Like whatever power or influence or commanding presence or that kind of like aura that you have when you command a lot of respect from people. Whatever you had in that realm feels like it's just drained from you. Like I feel like you have it, but you don't feel like you have it anymore. And when you feel like you don't have it, you can't use it. That's how it works. There's a lot of frustration around this, and I do feel like this is heavily work related, and some of you who are in school, this might be you wanting to change your major. Or being like, what am I actually doing in this major? Like, I thought this is what I wanted. This was supposed to give me a lot of success. Like, this is supposed to be like the path to a high-paying job, but I'm just not seeing how I could ever do this full-time for a living. Like, I just don't see it. And then wanting to change your whole direction and almost start over. Not completely start over, because this is not an ace. It is a page. So this is starting over in this case, but in a different way. Now, I know pages are typically messengers, and there will be some messages going in and out of communicados in terms of you letting people know that you're making this shift, but I kind of see this as a downgrade from the king to the page. Less so than I see this as like, you'll be receiving an offer or something like that. It does not feel like an offer to me. This feels like you're starting something over, but not completely over. Okay? That's where you're going to be like heading towards the end of November, like second to last week. And then into the last week and into the first 2 weeks of December, you're going to be in this kind of like starting over but not completely over mindset, or at least trying to get yourself into that position. And you may find yourself juggling two sets of responsibilities while you do it. But I feel like juggling those two sets of responsibilities while you do it feels way less burdensome than before when you didn't see a way out. Because see, over here we've got Two of Swords, which is like conflicted, totally conflicted, not understanding like, how is this supposed to work? How am I supposed to get this to do the thing? Like, I'm at a total crossroads. I don't know what to do. I am of two minds, two schools of thought. Over here, you're balancing two physical things, right? This isn't conflicted anymore. This is just juggling. Multitasking in many ways. I feel like a lot of you may not be going so much for a full career shift. And the reason I say that is because you're staying within a suit. You're not going so much for a full career shift as you are going for like a pivot within the area that you're in. So like, say if you wanted to become a doctor and you're in school for something, maybe you were going into surgery before, and now you're realizing, well, wait a minute, I actually want to be in pharmaceuticals, right? Things like that. I mean, it's that kind of a shift. Like, you still might be going through the doctor's path, but it's a different kind of doctor. So if you wanted to, say, be like a chef, for example, like you may decide, I don't want to be like a sous chef, I want to be a pastry chef, right? So it's starting over, but not completely. Like, you're still going to be able to use a lot of this stuff that you have obtained, gained, learned, all that kind of stuff in your new focus, but not all of it will be like 100% relevant. Now, you do have the sun here, And the thing I like about the sun is that the sun talks about self-confidence. It talks about being okay in your own skin. Like, whatever this is that you're going into, it's a damn good change. It is a damn good change. Because it, like, kind of brings you into yourself. And you won't see that for, I'm going to say, at least 3 weeks or so. After starting whatever this is, you'll start to see this manifest around you in terms of the way you feel, the kind of money that it brings in if that's what you're going into, or just like how easy your assignments are if you're in school. Just how quickly the tasks complete themselves, not because they take less time, but because they don't feel as tedious or as draining, and so you perceive them as taking less time. You know, like, it's that kind of like that saying, like, time flies when you're having fun. It's like that. Like, it's going to feel better. Now, for those of you who are actually worrying about, like, specifically finances or losing your things being repossessed from you, you're going to get some help here. A little bit of the help will be coming from people who are close to you. A very small amount of that will actually be financial help. The bulk of that is actually going to be emotional help, little favors, people helping you make dinner, taking care of your kids one night so that you can just have a bubble bath and do some R&R kind of thing. That sort of thing. I'm not saying that those are the exact things that will happen, but it's that kind of help that you'll get from people who are close to you. Now, I feel like for the majority of you who are worried about things being repossessed or objects, things that you own or money that belongs to you being taken from you, you're going to be receiving help from an official. So say like a bank, a lawyer, some sort of government funding in terms of grant, financial aid, those sorts of things. You'll be getting that sort of outside help too, and I think that will be far more prominent on the financial aspect, or at least in the terms of you keeping your possessions. People who are close to you are going to be helping you more on the emotional side, more on the day-to-day side, less fiscally or what's the word? Less object-oriented, I guess. It sounds so strange, but I can't think of anything else. And a lot of this needless worry is going to slowly start to fade, but it will be a slow process. Like, if you think about having 9 swords or 9 sources of worry, I don't think you actually have 9 sources of worry, like, consider it taking 1 week for every worry to go away. Like, if you have 30 worries, it might take you 30 weeks to get rid of all of the worries, but you'll be dropping 1 worry a week, which is still really good. I mean, like, if you were losing weight and you're trying to drop a pound a week, that's actually really good progress. Not gonna lie, because when you lose it slow, you tend to lose it with less of a chance of it coming back, right? I guess you could think of worries as weight in that case. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't necessarily know that I have a whole lot of advice for you. There's not a whole lot that's coming in terms of manifesting around you that you can't see yet. I mean, like I said, it's really just the worries melting off and you just becoming into a better place of yourself. There's no other person involved here. It's just you becoming one single mind and getting focused on what it is that you actually need to do or want to do, or something that's going to serve you a little bit better than what's previously. Yeah, this is the month where things just start manifesting all around you. Like they are manifesting all around you, and they will continue to do so. And you're just going to have to kind of ride this for a while. Like, I don't think if you're watching this reading that you're in a state of, I don't know what to do, or I need some insight into things that could be coming because I can't see anything coming, because there's not like a whole lot that you've put out there that hasn't already started showing up, like that you can't already see. So this may be, for a lot of you, just a way for you to become aware of the things that are showing up and to be able to actually recognize them as what they are. So I'm going to go with that. I don't really have anything else for you. This is pretty straightforward, honestly. I do feel like you'll be working a little bit less, or working in terms of the amount of exertion that you'll have to put out is less on, in the future going forward. So that's actually a really good thing. That's a really good thing. Now, I do want to put out one word of caution. If you refuse the help that's coming in as we speak, you will cycle back. You will basically be looking at this spread as if these 3 cards over here do not exist. Okay, so if someone offers you help, take it. Even if it feels really bad to take it, take that help that's been offered. Okay? The reason I say that is because you have, you run the risk here of falling back into an old pattern that will cause you to basically lose whatever it is that you're afraid of losing. Like, you're basically going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you don't accept this help. So be very careful of that. Be very mindful of that. Try and make really smart decisions. Listen to the people around you and try to really take their advice into consideration, even if it sounds like really shitty advice at the time, or even if you don't like it. Okay? For the bulk of you, I don't think this is going to be a problem. I think you're going to want the help. But I just want to throw that out there as a word of caution, because I do see that as a possibility. I just think it's a very slim chance, because I think most of you are on the path where you will actively seek help and not so much refuse it. Just be cautious, okay? Be careful. That's all I have for you. If this resonated, if you can leave a like or a comment, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear from you guys. If not, maybe I'll see you next month. Maybe I won't. But either way, have an excellent November. All right? Bye.